From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher. Their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicky Fisher. Our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Skripchuk. And our Batman, the master of tools, gadgets, and all things mechanical, our mild-mannered soon-to-be billionaire, Alan Danvers. Their mission, to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them, and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team. Dominating with Dawson.
Captain's Log Supplemental.
Miss Vicky.
Yes, sir.
You know what?
What?
I've been thinking about this Sentinel system.
Yeah. Tell me about the Sentinel system.
So what I was thinking was, we have the one car that's got the aim dash that's slowing us down. Because installing the aim dash is actually, it probably is easy, but it's quite hard the first time, and we haven't figured that out yet. The Sentinel system is really easy to set up. So what I was thinking was, why don't we put it in the Lemons car, and we'll worry about the aim data information separately, and we'll kind of break it down into a project, because then we'd have the motorsports video system that we really, really want, and we'd be able to stream it. We just won't have the data inside, but we have the data outside, so we can combine them later. But I think that's a really good solution.
So what does this Sentinel system do?
Well, if it had the aim data, it would have all the data on the screen, and you could see all their telemetry and everything live. But we'd be able to not only record it for viewing after the race, but we could actually watch our car during the race.
Ooh, like on the monitor and everything?
On a monitor, if you were at home and I was at a track, or if you were at the track and I was at home, depends on who gets the short straw, but we'd be able to watch each other.
It's something I've always wanted to do.
And you know what? If you're driving, you know what you can do on the Sentinel system?
What's that?
You can communicate to me with your hands, and I can't do a thing about it.
Even better.
So, if you need to give a wave or a Jersey wave, whatever you need, we could save it and see it on the screen. And then you can have up to 3 different cameras, and it'll have picture in picture. You'll have the basic main shot out the front window, and then 2 cameras where you put them wherever you want. One could be on the driver, or one could be on the rear view. It's kind of cool.
Then we can upload it onto YouTube.
We could bore millions of people on YouTube.
I love it.
All right. Very well. You know what the only downside I see about this?
What?
Your mom and my mom are going to be panic stricken the entire weekend watching this thing to see if everything's going well.
This is true.
We probably shouldn't tell them.
I like the idea of having a Sentinel.
Well, luckily we have maybe 2. Depends on how things go. We're going to try. All right. That sounds like a plan. That's the project. We got to get that ready for the next race.
Sounds great.
All right. Very well. Thank you, ma'am. We are reporting here live from the Garage Heroes and Trading Podcast Center, sort of. And we have a special guest for a segment that we like to call Dominating with Dawson.
Mind you, very exhausted Dominating with Dawson.
Everybody's tired tonight. Well, I'm here. Let's get into it. Let's check it out. I don't know about a special guest. You could say a depleted guest.
That's true. So, Ben.
Yes.
Considering we've seen the vacation pictures, which this is lovingly referred to in the Fisher household as a vacation I need a vacation after.
Yes.
We've experienced something that occasionally pops up because little type A personalities exist on our side of the world. I don't know if you ever noticed.
Okay.
Such as overdoing and leading to potential burnout. And how do you do that? How do you tell you're doing that? Is there a way to not do that? Asking for a friend.
Yeah, I've definitely, I've been there in a different iteration of my motorsports career. Sorry. just knocked an AirPod out, so I think I probably lost y'all for a second. When I first started racing and karting, I was racing a go-kart on like a Briggs flathead engine on oval dirt ovals, mostly just one dirt oval. But it was really competitive out there, and I mean, I got to the point where I was spending, every weeknight between Saturday night is just every single night out in the garage prepping the car, working on tires, greasing this bearing. And every time I had any kind of little bit of success, I got more obsessive about whatever I had done that day. I had to make sure I repeated that. Like I had special underwear. I had to wear my special underwear because I, won my first free heat race in my boxer shorts with the peaches on it. So I always had to race in the boxer shorts with the peaches on it. So everything got more and more obsessive. And I didn't realize that it was a problem until I got out of karting and realized I was so competitive and obsessive about trying to be successful that it took all the fun out of it. So it's hard to tell when it was happening to me. So I don't know if I have an answer about how do you tell when it's happening, but definitely in hindsight, like immediate hindsight, as soon as I sold all my karting stuff, I was, looking toward getting a Miata or something like that and getting into road course stuff. I was immediately realized, like, I don't ever want to let that happen again. I said, whatever I'm doing with road course driving and racing, I said, if it ever gets to be too obsessive or competitive to be fun, I'm just going to stop doing it. So I've been trying to be pretty cognizant about that and tried to keep this effort and this part of my motorsports career to being a little more fun.
Well, Bill knows about burnout.
Nope. Doesn't happen.
Oh, yes.
Never.
Oh, yes. Bill had come home after his race weekend, his third race weekend in a row.
Yep. Like a
With
finely
travel.
tuned machine.
With travel from
y'all are gonna hate this, but I gotta go.
It's fine.
Give you more time to sleep.
Who, me?
You.
No, I'm good.
Already on 4 times. I got to edit.
Ooh.
Yes.
Be careful.
You're just going to start over, right?
How far do you want me to go back?
Where you started. Like
Okay.
start over.
Yeah.
I definitely would need a full restart on that when we were trying to start up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Mm-hmm. No.
We
So
were just going to start with Vicky's bitching about how I was. So
yeah, so Bill came home from his trip and he was tired. And granted, I had sort of ditched him. My dog is barking, so sorry guys if you could hear it. So I had to go down and manage parents on my end.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to travel to Delaware. So I kind of left him with Mia and his own situation here. But when I got back, he was a zombie. He was just like, I don't know. I can't snap out of it. I think I'm sick. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if it's allergies. And I'm like, oh no. I said, you ran yourself into a ditch again. You mentally and physically just drove into a ditch.
Nope.
Wait, so for background, this was after your third weekend of racing straight. Is that what you did?
Yeah, he did an HPDE.
Dual instructor.
Yeah.
Oh, so 2 students?
Yeah.
And driving your own junk. That's a lot. 2 students is a lot these days for me.
And then he raced the following weekend. And then he drove from Northeast Pennsylvania to Gingerman in, Michigan?
Yeah.
That's a haul, isn't it? Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. By himself.
Oh, that's the lemons. That's the lemons race that was this past weekend, right? Is that right?
No, it was my comp school weekend. And then
gotcha.
And then instructing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All in a row.
Congratulations on comp school. But I could see coming home from just that one weekend being pretty wrecked. Not even being the third weekend.
He was wrecked when he left.
Not me, man. I was good. I was good to go.
Yeah.
Rocking and rolling. Perfect human specimen.
Is that but why are we on this topic that we're about to be on then? How did this come up?
I'm trying to take care of you humans,
Yes.
I've heard you guys have this problem that I know.
Here's the word. Don't do that.
But what can it lead to when you're on the track, I guess is where I was kind of going.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, if you've got a lot of other stressors that are, not even necessarily related to your on-track driving, a lot of times they sure can be. If you're trying to fix something, if you're trying to be the one person who's making sure everything happens while you feel like the rest of your team's not doing jack squat. If you're the person that's got to fix something when something breaks, you get that stress hanging over your head, just waiting for something to break. You know what I mean? There's so many different factors that can come into play, and also lead to you being more fatigued and tired. It sounds like it was a big symptom that you had, right, Bill? Were you feeling like that at the track, or more after you got back?
I shared it equally.
Okay, so you spread the fatigue liberally across the whole weekend.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about what can happen if you're doing something that's relatively dangerous and you're in a state where you can lose focus more readily. If you're stressed, if your focus is not fully on what you're doing. I can think there are probably plenty of relatively dangerous pursuits where if you're out there doing it and you suddenly realize you're not at the top of your game, you got to step away and come back when you're fully rested. But it can be dangerous. It can be dangerous if you're out on track and you're distracted by how tired you are or how stressed you are about how you're going to do in the event. There are plenty of things that can prey on your mind and distract you from just the ultimate function of driving, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, essentially, your reflexes get dull, your brain's not sharp. You're essentially driving drunk, even though you didn't.
Right. So, I mean, if there's a huge crisis in front of you, are you going to react well or not? I mean, probably not if you're doing distracted driving.
Or distracted prepping of my car, Miss Vicky.
Yes, that's what I did.
Oh, we brought every axe to grind, didn't we?
We did.
We did. It was terrible.
My zombie mechanic.
Oh my gosh! I tried to do a gravity bleed. Because
on the brakes.
Yeah. And that didn't go as well as I thought it would.
So what was the result? Did you end up with bubbles in the lines?
Yes.
The brakes were spongy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he got that fixed, but then he was loaded. He didn't get a chance to drive it because he couldn't fit in it.
We changed the seat and didn't take into account my massive brain, which is encased by my massive helmet. Massive
big old brain.
Big old unicorn horn of a helmet that he has. It's hard to find. But he was loading it, and because I didn't thoroughly nut and bolt, I just kind of did what I had seen. I didn't go under the car. I just kind of did like the control arm, stuff like that. Yeah, we were missing a strap on the gas tank.
Damn.
I know. He didn't drive it. Yeah. Yeah, that happened. He didn't drive it.
So let's reflect. If for those of you playing the Garage Heroes in Training home game,
what happened?
At our last race at NJMP, Audra ran out of gas, and her report in was, sometimes it says I have 1/8 of a tank, sometimes it says I have negative gas, sometimes it says I have zero gas. That could be just
driving.
And she drove it, and she did her job. But somewhere during that day, apparently the gas tank was angled at about 10 degrees starboard, and
lesson learned.
Apparently, when the gas tank on a Honda Civic in 1993, if you really want to be precise, when the gas tank gauge starts varying by like more than 1/8 of a tank as you're driving on track, you probably don't have a gas tank strap on your gas tank, and it'd probably be a good thing to pull in.
This is another thing of the don't do what we did.
That's right.
But I also attribute all that to me just exhausted.
Because you were running up and down the road doing family stuff and trying to have race cars ready.
I was burned out from my race weekend, and I ran the team that weekend. Yep. So I was not. That race hangover was bad.
I'm not picking on you, Vicky.
I know.
I'm just trying to show as an example for everybody at home. I mean, you did what you could, which was
right. It was bad. Yeah. Alan had come to visit. I'm like, I don't know how much I could hang here. Like I could barely move my feet. It was bad.
Full sentences were a challenge, by the way.
They were bad. So I would recommend not doing back-to-back race weekends if you can help it.
Well,
bad idea.
And you still
I know.
When you think about this, though, what you all are describing is kind of the macrocosm version of just being at a DE weekend where you've got multiple sessions during the day.
Yep.
And you'll hear wise instructors, maybe classroom instructors, or just smart people in the paddock saying good advice like, hey, if you feel like you're a little bit off toward that last session, skip it. Don't go out. There's There's more to be lost than there is to be gained by just running that last session, because you're like, oh, I paid my money, I'm going out there. You feel like you're off, or you feel like, hey, to me, like
you can wreck a car that way.
My disclaimer is I don't think I've ever skipped 1 minute of track time that was available to me, but also if you feel like if you got a weird feeling about an event or a session, just skip it. You know, if you feel like something might be off, or you might not be up for it, or you might not be able to give it everything it takes to be safe on track. Best thing to do is just to skip it, because you could end up, wrecking your car, hurting yourself, hurting somebody else. Discretion is the better part of valor. That's what we always say in sort of the microcosm version of just how you get through this day at a DE. But you guys are talking about kind of a compounding of events over several weekends that could end up making things even more dangerous. Dangling the gas tank down the track, stuff like that. So it's a whole scale of just of discretion and kind of reassessing how things are going. I know in my own motorsports career, before I got into the road course stuff, I was doing oval karting and racing on dirt. And I got so obsessive with it that it became no fun for me. By the time I kind of sold out of all my karting stuff, I realized, like, right after the fact, that I become so obsessive with just trying to win. And I was out there till like 2 a.m. every night on a weeknight, trying to make sure I had everything completely squared away with my car, and trying to, I was scaling and doing the alignment every week, after every race. Every single thing I could do on that car was, getting torn down and getting put back together. And it became a crazy routine, and I didn't realize it until it was too late that it was not fun anymore. I used to go out there and kind of be excited. And then I started going out there feeling like something was taken from me if I wasn't successful with it. That's the tipping point, I think, is where you start feeling like if you're not successful, somebody's taking something from you. That's probably a good clue that you are heading for the wrong end of being overly obsessed with something, I think.
Or when it's not fun.
Right. If it's just not fun, like you march right past the fun into the obsessive, then it's hard to tell. It's hard. I wasn't able to tell until right after I kind of got clear of it. But to me, in my experience, unless you're an incredibly self-actualized person, it's hard to be able to look inward and realize what's happening at the time, because you're kind of swept away in how important, whatever you're doing, whether it's underwater basket weaving or racing is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you just have to try to be aware of it. And, it's to the protection of you, your car, your friends, and their cars, whenever in doubt,
And maybe your family life.
Yeah, them too.
Think about that too. That might be a factor in how all this stuff's played out. Like, am I present for my family?
Yeah.
That hasn't been my own experience. I'm just kind of projecting that I can think of a few people who might be like that, where they might need to take a minute to make sure they're spending enough time with their folks.
Absolutely. So try to get everything done. Try to manage things. Try to get it done as quick as you can, as fast as you can up front, because you don't want to go into the event already lost.
No, it's rough. Yep. Not only is it no fun, it's dangerous.
It is. Well, that was a downer. We'll have a new Dominate with Dawson for next weekend.
You got to talk about the bad stuff with the good stuff, right?
That's true. It's all good stuff when you're on Dominating with Dawson.
That's right. Be present so you can dominate.
That's right. Thank you, Ben.
Must be present to win. Thank you.
What's better?
No, it's not.
Why?
Because I have one end of the mic plugged in with one cord and the computer plugged into the other cord.
So you're an idiot.
Let's see. How's that? Better?
Much better. I'm just playing with my mic. Oh.
That's helping us prep for this. How?
We're fine.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, it's been a fucking rough night.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
You and Disney. I don't have any. Oh, you just got back? Or are you still there?
We got back last night.
Yeah, you were screwed. That's
I'm
why I
not
said,
here.
do you want to settle in?
So how's life? How was the last race? Where'd y'all race this last time?
Bill ran himself into a ditch physically, mentally,
Oh, yeah.
spiritually.
I stayed on the track.
He's like, I can't figure out why I'm so tired. It's like, I can't get out. I don't know what's wrong. I think I'm sick. And I'm like, oh no, that's not it at all. You had 3 race weekends in a row. That would do it with travel.
Wow.
No problem.
All cars that you had to prepare. Or did you get to go drive somebody else's stuff?
Nope. I used the word prepare with quotes in it for the last one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was an utter zombie trying to prep that car.
That sounds crazy.
I went and I napped. I told you last time I went and I napped under a tree. I was so tired. I took a nap.
That wasn't Ben.
That's okay.
Oh my gosh, no. I was walking around just dragging my feet and I looked at a tree when I was walking around our area out there in the at the air hangar, and I'm just like, that tree looks really comfortable.
Well,
And-
it's
and
been here
I-
a while.
You're deranged. You're like, that tree looks so comfy. Let me go get up on that.
And I laid down underneath of it for like 15 minutes with my dog, sun in the shade, took a nap. And then I went back in like another day later and I had to prep this car. And I eventually laid on the floor in the garage and took a nap there too. I was
Nice.
tired, but
You gotta take care of yourself.
it was hard to focus on getting that car ready to go. And then we found out that
You didn't.
I didn't do well. I tried to do a gravity.
Hey, we can do this in the.
Okay, we can do. I thought we were already doing. Okay, go ahead.
You sure the race hangover is still not going?
Oh no, we can talk race hangover. We already talked race hangover on the pod.
That's fine. You good to go, Mr. Dawson?
Yeah, I don't know anything about what we're talking about, but I'm ready to roll for whatever
We're gonna do it.
All right.
Okay, we'll just. Do you want to start? Tell me when.
When?
Okay, very good.